No. Okay, bearing. Let's look at what? Good. Mine is here, members. Mine is here. Make sure you also have yours. Make sure you have yours. Please, if you don't want to talk, please first mute your microphone so that we have good audios, please. You only unmute if you want to talk, okay? Yes. So bearing. Bridget, for you were there last week. What is bearing? What is bearing, Bridget? You were there last week. Yes, Bridget. Bridget, please, let's talk. Yes, Anena. Yes, Gift. Yes, Brian. Okay. People are not talking now. I don't know. People, can you talk to me? Let's discuss. Okay? Let's discuss this one, members. We said bearing, bearing, gives the direction. Bearings give the direction. Bearing give the direction of a point. With reference. Are you able to see? With the reference.
To another point.
With reference to another point. Okay. So bearing,
yes.
Basically bearing. Members, have you ever guided someone in terms of location? If someone, take example, I said, let me say, Austin, tomorrow I'm coming to your place. Can you guide me? Can you guide me on how I will get to your place? What you are doing, you are already giving direction. You are going to be giving what? Direction. And that's what we call bearing. Bearing is all about giving direction of a point of a given location. So we give direction. We give direction of a given what? Of a given what? Location. Of a given location. So we said bearing of a point is given by the angle. So there's also another thing you have to take note of there, angles. We shall look at also angles. So what is angles, members? What is angles? Members, what is angles? Members, what is angles? Angles, when we talk of angles, angle is the amount. Can you write them down? Angle is the amount. Is the amount of turning. Is the amount of turning of an object. Of an object from a fixed point. Is the amount of turning of an object from a fixed point. Is the amount of turning of an object from a fixed point. Is the amount of turning from a fixed what? Point. Members, are we together? Are we together? Members, are we together? Senior ones, are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So that's also a very important component in angles. And we said angles is measured in what? Angle is measured in what? Angle is measured in what? Degrees. Angle is measured in degrees. Angle is measured in degrees. Angle is measured in degrees. Full stop. The distance between, so the distance between the 2 points may be given so as to fix their exact positions. So as to exact. So another thing also we shall talk about when you are talking of bearing, you also talk of what? Distance. You talk of what? Distance. Take note of that. Take note of that. We talk of distance. We take note of distance. So we say distance is the length. Distance is the length. Is the length between two fixed points. Is the length between two fixed what? Points. So when I have this is I have a point there. If I have something like that. So this is point A, this is point what? B. The length between point A, B is what we call the distance. Is what we call the distance. So I can say the distance here is 5 kilometers. So let me say this is it. Which town should I use? Let me say this is Gulu. This is Gulu. Then this is what? This is what? Kampala. So members, what's the distance? What's the distance between Kampala? Let's say is it? Let's say is 4. Let's say is 300 and let's say is 285 kilometers. Okay. Okay. So the distance between these two towns. The distance between these two towns. I mean the length between these two towns is what we call the distance. So the unit we use, units for measuring distance. Unit for measuring distance. We have kilometers. We have kilometers, which I believe you have looked at that one in physics. We have kilometers. We have centimeters. We have centimeters. We have miles. We have miles. We have meters. We have what? Meters. Those are the common units we use. But now when we are measuring a long distance, say for example, we want to measure the distance between Gulu and Kampala. Can you put your units? Can you put it in meters? Can you put it in centimeters? You find that when you put it in centimeters, it's going to be very big. So for the purpose of convenience, you use a bigger unit, which is kilometers. We use centimeters only for small units. Even miles, you can't put it in it for a long distance. Meters, we can use for long distances. So we prefer using meters and miles. Meters and miles, that's a common unit. But when we come to the context of what we are learning, we shall look at what can fit. Which unit do you think when we are talking about, for example, our exercise books? The best unit we can use, we can measure the distance, okay, in kilometers. Can we measure the distance of our books in kilometers? Say, for example, the length of these papers from here up to there. Can I use it kilometers there, really, members? So the best unit we are going to use is centimeters, because centimeters is a small, can fit in our book. So another thing also you have to take note of when you are taking bearing is also suitable scale, what we call suitable scale. You must also be in position to take a scale, because when we are giving the problem in our day-to-day life, take for example, someone is in Chibale and someone is here, you want to come to Kampala. Huh? Chibale, I mean, you want to come to Kampala, so you find that the distance is big, but I can draw it in a simple text. You can draw it in a simple text by using a scale. By using a scale. That's why we are able to draw a map. That's why we are able to draw a map. That's why we are able to have photographs. That's how we are able to have photographs. Are you together, members? That's how we are able to have building plans. Building plans. Building what? Plan is because of scales. That's why when you look at your photo, members, when you look at your photo and the real you, for you to fit that scale, that scale there, that size of the paper you're seeing there, the photographic film, all the file there must be a scale that must be used. That's why we have photos of different sizes. We have the passport size photos. We have the walls, what we call the portraits. Okay, all those kind of things is because of a scale. Is because of the use of a scale. Are you together, members? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. So those are the things we have to put into context for us to understand bearing very well. So we have two types of bearing. Now let's go to types of bearing. Types of what? Types of bearing. Types of bearing. Types of bearings. Types of bearing. We have two types of bearing, members. There are two types of bearing. There are two types of bearing. Full stop. These include, we have what we call compass. Compass what? Compass bearing. Then we also have what we call true north. We call it true north. True north bearing, or some people sometimes we call it 3 digits. 3 digits bearing. Those are the two types of bearing we have, members. Those are the two types of bearing we have. Members, are you following me?
Yes, teacher.
Very good, very good, very good. So let's move to the next page. Let's move to the next page.
Teacher.
Yes?
Teacher.
Yes, please, I'm getting you.
What about where does ordinary bearing fall?
Ordinary?
Ordinary bearing.
Now, when you bring ordinary bearing, for ordinary bearing, we are just referring to these ones because it must come only either from compass bearing. Ordinary bearing is like when you are just giving direction to someone. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Yes, when you are just giving direction, the one that you use from home, like when someone gets you say, yes, can you show me where somebody's home is? You said, hey, please, you move left, you move right, then go straight. I think that's what we call ordinary bearing. Are you together? Are we together, members? Yes. Well, you don't talk of angles.
Yes.
In that one, you don't talk about angles. You just give in general perspective. That's why we call it ordinary. Okay? Like when if you want to direct someone to St. Kizito, how are you going to do it? You're just going to do it ordinary, not so? Because you may not have the compass to give the direction. You may not be in position to measure the angles. Are you together? So you are just going to say, if you reach Kampala,
Yes.
if you're in town, you go to Bugolobi. From Bugolobi, you follow what? Luzera Road. From Luzera Road, you see Rubbish. From Rubbish you branch. That's why you find St. Kizito. I think that was ordinary bearing. That one we call it ordinary bearing. Just within your locality there. In that one, you are not talking about anything to do with what? You're not talking of anything to do with
Angles.
You are not talking of anything to do with angles. You are not talking of anything to do with it?
Distance.
Distance. Are you together, members?
Yes.
Yes.
You are just giving a general perspective. Now we are saying the compass bearing and true north bearing. The direction of a point from another can be determined using a compass. Can be determined using a what? A compass.
No.
Can be determined
Teacher,
using.
I didn't get your explanation.
Yes?
I'm not getting your explanation very well.
Connect your
I'm not
micro.
getting your explanation very well.
Maybe the problem could be your network. Check your network, okay? Now let's start.
Yeah,
Let's
I
look
think
at.
the problem is with the network.
Yes. Let's check compass bearing. Let's start with compass. Subheading members. Can you write compass bearing? Compass bearing. Compass what? Bearing. So can you pick your protractor? I mean, pick your. Can you pick your pair of compass? Pick your pair of compass.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything.
Can you pick your compass? Members? Members?
Yeah.
Can we draw this compass there? So pick a compass, pick a pair of compass, pick a pair of what?
Compass.
Do you have yours? Mine is here. Do you have yours?
Yes.
For me, I'm going to use this. I'll fix mine. Then adjust it to any radius of your choice. Adjust it to any radius of your choice. Adjust it to any length. Adjust it to any length. So can we measure 4 centimeters? I'm going to measure 4 centimeters. Mine is 4 is there. Are you seeing that? Have you seen that? Carry it and then draw a circle. Draw a big circle there, members of radius. I'm drawing mine, members. I'm drawing mine. I'm drawing mine. I'm drawing mine. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Yes.
The center is there. The center from there. So from the center, can you bisect these lines? Bisect this line. Bisect that line. Draw it like that. Again, from there, can you draw this line? Members, let me hope you are following me. So put the arrow. Remember, you are saying we are giving direction. The direction is giving the arrows is giving the direction. The arrow is giving the direction. So this is our what? North.
No.
This is our what? East. This is our south.
So.
Then this is our what? Our west. Now, members, we are going to bisect these angles. When you look at this angle, what is this angle, members? What is that angle?
90.
That angle is what? 90.
90.
So when you bisect it, what do you get? You get 40. When you bisect 90 degrees, we get 45 what?
Degrees.
Yeah, I can't get anything.
So can you bisect that? Can you bisect that? Bisect that, divide that angle. And also come and do the same. Divide this one. Members, are you following me?
Yes.
Put the arrow there. Put the arrow there. Put the arrow there. Put the arrow there. Okay?
Yes.
So what is this one? This one become our north? That is northeast. What about this one? Southeast. What about this one?
Southeast.
Southwest.
South.
Then this one,
Southwest.
then this is north.
Northwest.
Now, members, we say this angle is what? We say this angle is 40.
5.
45.
5 degrees.
I'm also going to bisect 45. I'm going to bisect 45. When you bisect 45, what do you get? When you bisect 45, what do you get? You get 22 point. You get 22.5, not so? So we are going to bisect that line again. We are going to bisect it. We are going to bisect that line again. I will have that. I will have this. Which one is still remaining? This one is still here. Members, let me know if you are moving together with me.
Yes.
Don't remain behind, please. I don't want chameleons. I don't want what? Chameleons. That one there. Put the arrows there. The arrow is very important, members. Remember, here we are talking about bearing, which help us to give directions. And what will help us to give the direction is the arrows. Yes, members.
Yes.
Have you finished drawing that?
Yeah.
Members?
Yes.
Is yours smarter than mine? If yours is not smarter than mine, then you have not drawn a good one. Have you seen how mine is organized?
Yes.
Now let's start naming them. Let's start leveling them. So this one become, this is our north, east. Okay? Then this one is it? What is this? This is east.
North.
Like that. Okay? Okay? East. What about this one? This is east, south, east. Okay? What about this one? This is south, east.
South.
Then this one is in
West. South.
We can have, this is it, south, west. Okay? Right together?
Yes.
Then this one is it, west, south, west. Okay? Then this one is it. What about this one, members? What about this?
Yes.
West.
This is west, north, west.
West.
Then this one is it. North,
Northwest.
Now, members,
Yeah.
when you count them, how many are there? Start counting from the north. Start counting from the north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How many are there?
16.
16. They are what?
16.
Who has got 17? Who is that one who has got 17? We have all got 16, right?
Yes.
Why are we saying 16?
Yes.
Why are we saying 16? 16 is coming from here, members. Number of turns. Number of what?
Tons.
Number of turns. So now, remember when we move round, this, that's why we are drawing a circle. When you move all round, what is the total angle there, members? What is the total angle? The total angle is what? 360 degrees. Okay?
Yes.
And remember,
360 degrees.
and remember each of these angles, the 16 of them, that angle is what? 22.5. Which means each, let's say each, okay? Each angle will be, we shall have 360 degrees divided by what? Divided by what? But-
16.
Which you get what? You get 22.5 what? Degrees. Are you together, members?
Yes.
That is it. That is the compass. That is the what? The compass. So we are saying there are 16 points on the compass. There are 16 points on the compass. Any other direction in which is stated using the angle is in degrees. Is in what? Degrees. So members.
Yes.
When you are using a compass bearing, when you are using a compass what? Bearing,
Yeah.
all the movements, not, okay? All the what?
The movements.
All the movements or turns must start from where? From the north?
From the north.
From the north pole.
Pole.
From the north pole. From the north pole of a what? Of a compass. Okay?
Yes.
Is there any question so far? Is there any question? Members, is there any question so far?
Oh.
Is there any question?
Wow.
We are still together, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That is good. If you are still together, that is good. That is good. All right. I'm taking you to the next page. I'm taking you to the next. So we say example. Let's say example of a compass bearing. Example of a compass bearing includes like if I said north 20 degrees west. I think that members. This is a compass bearing, okay? I can also say south 40 degrees east. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? So let's come to the sketch. How do we sketch bearing? How do we what? How do we sketch? Okay? We must always have a sketch. Are you together, members? Now, you draw for me this bearing? Draw for me north 20 degrees west. Let's draw that. Let's draw that. So you come and draw you first draw a simple compass. Just a simple compass. You indicate the north like that. Are you together, members?
Yes.
We said all the movement must start from where?
North Pole.
From the north pole. But now this one is it? North 20 degree west. So are you going to draw it? West is this side, not so?
Yes.
West is this side. So which means you are going to draw it here. Let me make it a little bit big. We are going to draw it there. I think that.
Yes.
Like that. So this is our north. Let's say this is point A. This is point what? Point B. So where are you going to put the angle? Where are we going to put the angle? The angle we must be from where? From there. Have you seen that? That one is 20 degrees. So this one, members,
Yes.
please, there's a lot of noise in your background, Anena. There's a lot of noise in your background, please. Now, members, bearing of B from A. What's the bearing of B from A? What's the bearing of B from A? Members, if they ask what's the bearing of B and from A? Here we are just drawing the direction, right? So what's the bearing of B from A?
B from A.
The answer is it? The answer is what? North 20
North,
degrees
20 degrees west.
Are you together? What is the bearing? What is the bearing of A from B? What will be the bearing? Give me in compass. What is the bearing of A from B?
West 20 degrees north.
Is what?
20 degrees west.
So which means you need to know this angle, not so. You need to know this what?
Angle.
What is that angle? These are alternating angles. So this angle is also what?
20 degrees.
So what is that bearing?
North 20 degrees.
Is it north? Is it north? Members,
West 20 degrees north.
you can start either from north or from south. Either from north or from south. Okay? Are you together?
Yes.
So what is the bearing of A from B? It's going to be south.
Yes.
It's going to be what? South.
South 20 degrees
What?
west.
Is it west? Look at it well. Is
East.
it east?
East.
Not so?
East.
Like that. Is it? South.
East.
South 20 degrees
20
what?
degrees
East. Members, have you seen that?
right.
Have you seen that? Another one. We can number 2.
South 20 degrees east.
Yes. I'm drawing another one here. I'm drawing another one here. This is point A. I have that one here. This one here. Members, can you draw yours? Can you draw yours? We have a few minutes remaining, then we go for a break. Okay?
Yes.
B. So they've said this angle, members, this angle here is 60 degrees. That angle is 60 what? Degrees. So what is the bearing? Bearing of B from A. What is the bearing of B from A? Who can give us that? What's the bearing of B from A? B, which means measurement starting from, which means you must come at point A. Are together? Because they're saying bearing of B from what? You start measurement from where they're saying from. So which means you stand at point A, and then what is that angle? The angle is 60 degrees. So which means this is going to be north 60 degrees.
East.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about, what's the bearing? What's the bearing of A from B?
South.
What is this angle?
South.
What is this angle?
60.
Is also 60, and this is south. So it's going to be south.
South 60 degrees west.
South 60 degree what?
60 degrees
West. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Very good. You people, you are very good. What have you eaten this morning, you people?